guidelines. Okay, thank you, Miss. Members of the public wishing, so public participation guidelines. Members of the public wishing to participate in the meeting must use their full name for Zoom access. If full names are not used, people will not be allowed to participate in the discussion. The town reserves the right to remove any member of the public from the meeting who doesn't use the full name or acts inappropriately. Confirming member access. As a preliminary matter, this is Abigail Champ, Vice HDC Chair, something like that. Permit me to confirm that all members and persons anticipated on the agenda are present and can hear me. Members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Val Oliver.
Here.
Diane Coombs.
Here.
John McLaughlin.
Sorry, I'm in a Zoom meeting.
Madam Chair, we haven't been able to make contact with John, so I am going to suggest that we move along as though he is not here until he says that he is here.
Okay, I thought I saw his head bobbing up and down. Carrie?
Here.
Do we have Stephen Welsh?
We do.
Not yet, but he.
Oh, yeah. And do we have
Good.
Jesse Dutra?
We do not.
We do not, okay. Kadeem, when I call, sorry, staff, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Kadeem
Present.
and Holly,
Present.
and is, what was the name of the other?
Esmeralda, she is
Esmeralda.
present. Esmeralda?
I'm here.
Thank you. Anticipated speakers on the agenda, please respond in the affirmative. Well, state, okay. Introducing the remote meeting. Good morning, afternoon, or evening. Check one of those. This open meeting of the HDC is being conducted remotely pursuant of Chapter 20, Acts 2021. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law. This meeting will feature public comment. For this meeting, the HDC is convening by video conference via Zoom app as posted on the town's website, identifying how the public may join Zoom meetings. Please note that this meeting is being recorded and that all attendees are participating by video conference. Accordingly, please be aware that other folks may be able to see you, and take care not to screen share your computer. Anything that you broadcast may be captured by the recording. All supporting materials that have been provided members of this body are available on the town's website unless otherwise noted. Public is encouraged to follow along using the posted agenda unless I, the chair, notes otherwise. We are now turning to the first item on the agenda. Please, before we do so, permit me to cover some ground rules for the effective, clear conduct of our business and to ensure accurate meeting minutes. I will introduce each speaker on the agenda. After they conclude their remarks, the chair will go down the line of the members, inviting each by name, provide any comment, questions, motions. Please hold until your name is called. Further, please remember to mute your phone or computer when you're speaking. Please remember to speak clearly and in a way that helps generate accurate minutes. For any response, please wait until the chair yields the floor to you and state your name before speaking. If members wish to engage in conversation with other members, please do it through the chair. Items for public comment. After members have spoken, the chair will afford public comment to those members of the public that have joined the meeting via Zoom. Members of the public who wish to speak must state their names and be acknowledged by the speaker through the chair. Finally, each vote taken in this meeting will be conducted by a roll call vote. Okay, we're
Okay,
ready to go.
I make a motion to approve the agenda.
Thank you, Diane. On your motion, Val,
Aye.
Stephen,
Aye.
Carrie,
Aye.
and am I missing anybody? Oh, Stephen, and I myself. Okay, so we have approved the agenda. What about?
The next is consent, and it looks like Val is the only one that has to go out.
Okay. Is that your motion, Diane?
Yeah,
Okay. All in favor of Diane's motion to approve the consent. Diane, on your motion,
aye.
and Stephen,
Aye.
and Carrie, and myself.
Aye.
So that passes. And Mr. Topham is the only one on consent with conditions.
Make a motion to approve one on consent with conditions.
Okay, on that motion, Val,
Aye.
Stephen,
Aye.
Diane,
Aye.
Carrie,
Aye.
and that passes.
Madam Chair,
Oh, yes.
for this next item, it is the OML complaint discussion and vote. I haven't received any edits, so I'm hoping we don't have any edits, but I do just want to ask through you if any board members that are here today have any edits to the response written by Legal Services for the open meeting law complaint.
Would anybody like to address that? I don't think I was involved in that because I think I was.
Oh,
probably-
that's correct, Madam Chair. So I,
send it?
oh, yeah, so I guess this actually has to probably be done through Diane. So Diane, would you mind sharing this item?
No, I do that.
Okay.
So, Stephen, do you have any correction you'd like to see?
No, but I would just suggest that we go ahead and establish for the record the board.
Thank
I
you,
don't,
Stephen.
I don't have a board. I think it's you and me. And Abby was the only one not on it, so it would be you and me, Val, and Ray, who is not here.
And myself,
No,
Carrie.
he,
Yeah, could we,
was
I
not
just,
Ray.
if Kadeem maybe could give us the list, that might be good. That's
Yeah.
all I'm asking.
Oh, sorry, the list from last week, Stephen. I actually do not have that in front of me.
Yeah, just
I
the sitting
apologize.
members.
Yeah, oh, so it,
What I
I'm sorry, do
have
you guys remember
is,
who was
yeah,
on there?
what I pulled off the last one, the last
Yep.
meeting was Diane as the acting chair. Ray and Abby are recused. Val, I don't know, she wasn't there at the last hearing, but there's not being, she can sit on it. I don't think she needs to read back in. Stephen and Carrie.
Right. So it's everybody here except Val, except Abby right now. All the rest of us are on it.
Correct. Thank you,
So I
Diane.
will
you,
go
Stephen.
back to Stephen and see if he has anything he would like to change or add.
No comments, no additional comments.
Okay, thank you. Carrie,
No, me too. No comments.
okay, Val wasn't on it, and I have no comments. So,
Madam
I
Chair,
would- yes,
Val missed last week, but I do think Terry just said Val could still
okay,
have edits if she had any.
all right.
Yeah, and
Val,
I actually sat on this application when it came through, so
Yeah, have you got anything you'd like to say?
no, and I did read it, so I agree. I think it's a good response.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Madam Chair, in that case, we just need a motion to approve the response as written by Legal Services.
Okay, can I get that motion, please?
I'll make that motion.
All right, so, Stephen,
Aye.
Carrie,
Aye.
Val,
Aye.
and me. Aye. So that is all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Diane, for that, that it's
No
the,
problem.
yeah, Lily, Lily. I just wanted to say Lily Street. There's a little typo there. So
Can you see 16 Tashma?
16
Sorry.
Tashama.
Okay, I have to sit off this because it's my client.
Okay.
Abby, can I
Is this
just,
We have a letter for.
make a suggestion?
Sure.
if in our meeting tonight, in order to further it along at a good pace, that once the applicant finishes speaking, that they do not engage with the commissioners offhand, that they be quiet and let the commissioners go, not wasting time going back and forth. That's all my suggestion would be.
No, I agree with you, Diane. I'll try to keep that going.
Great, thank you.
Madam Chair, Katie Mitchell is here representing the application.
Okay, great. And I think we have a letter too, right?
Which one are you doing?
Teen Tashima
16
Lane.
Tashma Lane.
The first one I had was 54 Matacochan.
Oh,
That's old business.
Where's the-
We have new business of 9/28 first.
Oh, poop.
I-
Yeah,
I'd
somehow
like
I'm
to
missing
ask,
a whole section. Sorry. You
Okay,
guys go ahead and I'll fix it. Catch.
could we have the presentator please present the project?
That's me.
Oh, great.
Um,
Katie Mitchell, thank you.
So I kind of came into this at the 11th hour here because I guess the wall wasn't originally permitted. So I'm not sure what is the issue with the wall aside from the fact that it wasn't permitted. It's there for structural purposes. There's quite a drop off there and there's a lot of runoff into the neighbor's yard. That is all going to be backfilled, so you won't see the wall from 16 Tashima, but the backside will be visible to the neighbors. And the intent is they left space so that we could do plantings. They could do plantings at the base of the wall. So from the neighbor's perspective, you won't see the wall.
Okay, but you're saying that can we stay on that picture right there? You're saying that just for clarification, that retaining wall was not okayed by the HDC?
That was my understanding. That's why I was brought in to do a last minute permit.
I see. Well, that is quite a substantial wall to come home to. Okay, so thank you, Katie.
And just to be clear, sorry, one more time, the wall from the neighbor's side is 29 inches.
Right.
And we
We have
have,
a site plan that shows the wall and where it's located on the site. There are no dimensions or anything. I'm just referring to because the neighbor mentioned in his letter that any planting will have to be on his property, not this property. So
there's
that's
1
where-
foot.
there's
there's
1 foot.
There's 1 foot before the property line, so we could plant some, narrower shrubs. The dimensions of the walls are there. It's 4x4 timber. It's 29 inches high, and the long section is 82 feet, and the back section is 31 and a half.
Okay, all right. So now, do we hear the letter at this point?
Madam Chair, I believe the abutter may actually be here, but if you want
Oh,
to,
okay, all right, thank you.
I'm not sure how you guys want to go about that.
Um,
The letter was sent so that you guys could read it beforehand, and then I thought the abutter might say something or he may not.
Yes, I read this a couple of, I was gonna say years ago. I read this a couple of days ago and it's not fresh on my mind. Maybe the neighbor could say a few words about what's going on here.
Yes, sure. If you can all hear me. My name is Greg Kivnan. I am the abutter, the owner of 13 McLean Lane. Thank you all. Thank you, Madam Chair and Commission. The reason we wrote the letter is, well, first of all, we did not realize that there was intentions to have any plantings because there were no design plans because the wall was not permitted. So we didn't know that. So that would have been helpful. We just didn't understand. But we wrote the letter because, as you can see from my very poor photos, sorry about that, it's just from my iPhone, that the wall, of course, comes pretty much right up to the property line along our property. We have a very odd shaped property. It's a wedge. And this runs along about half, well, not the wall, but their property runs about half the length of the wedge on that side, on I guess it's the west side. And with the wall there, and then the subsequent, at the retaining wall, the subsequent fencing, which was approved, a 6-foot fencing, 4-foot cedar fence with 2-foot lattice. It's going to create quite a large wall along the side of our property, which doesn't seem really in tune with the nature of the neighborhood and the design of the backyards to be much more open. We love what they've done to the house. We're very jealous. It's a beautiful home and they've done a great job. It's just, this was a surprise to us. It wasn't permitted, so we never asked them about it or anything. That's why we asked to write a letter, if that was okay. We also understand that your job is difficult enough for small potatoes like this to clog up your agenda, but we know that things like this happen. Things got put up and they come back to you to ask for forgiveness and as-built permitting. So we understand, my partner and I, that it's unrealistic to ask for the wall to be removed. I know that'd be a challenge. So we were asking for the owners to put in some appropriate screening. It's been mentioned that it's about a foot in between, which that's a little debatable, depending on, compared to the stakes that are delineating the property line. But even then, a foot does not really give a lot of room for substantial plantings to be able to at least screen the wall and some of the fence. We just put privet on the other side of our yard, and we needed almost 2.5 feet, to put them in and let them grow. So that's just a concern. But like I said, my photos aren't fantastic, but you can see where the retaining wall is. And then our understanding is that there will be a 6-foot fence on top of that wall, maybe push back a little bit, but to screen the shed and the pump, the pool equipment, mechanical equipment. So that's really all I have to say. And thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you for explaining that in detail. I'm seriously surprised that this happened. I'd like to hear from my board now. Would anybody like to start?
I'll go.
Okay, Carrie, I think you were.
I just think it's really unfortunate that this kind of stuff happens, because it really is like in a visible area and in a neighborhood that is tightly packed and everybody gets along and does their best. But I'm thinking, because this is a wood retaining wall, the top 2 layers could come off and move into the property by 5 feet or so, therefore reducing the height of the wall on the property line, planting with whatever the neighbors want to plant on their side, and planting in between the 2-level wall, and putting the fence on the inside of those plants, the inside of the applicant's property from the plants on the 2 tiers. That's, I think, a good solution, because this wall is really not hidden at all.
Yeah, I agree.
12 inches doesn't do it.
There's a couple of things I'd like to clarify.
We're not going to have any back and forth at the moment, because remember, Diane, we just reminding us that we don't have any back and forth. Maybe at the end we can hear, but I'd like to hear from the board now. So that would be Stephen.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Madam Chair. I had read the letter. Thanks for weighing in on it. I'd like to get the images up that show the view looking at the retaining wall from the neighbor's property, please. I was having problems downloading that.
There's one right up right now.
Right. So I'm a little bit confused. I see. Okay, so you may note there's a structure on the applicant's property, which looks to be a cabana or something, which, I don't necessarily have an issue with. But if we could now go back to the site plan representing the 16 Tashima. That one, but the landscaped rendering. Yeah. And the colored one, sheet 7. Yeah, and go up a click if you would, just and focus on the corner left. So I don't see a building here. I think given the fact that there was a retaining wall put in without approval, I'll speak to in a moment. I'd like to see this application, this particular application brought back to us with the prior approval attached, so we can compare the two. And if there's a building approved for the location between the pool and the retaining wall along the border of the property, I'd like to see that application too. I think it's appropriate to review them as a whole. With respect to the retaining wall, my concern is that really what's going on here is it's a reforming of the land. It raises the yard space of one property up considerably relative to the other. And while that may be not inappropriate in some instances, we didn't give it a study on this application because the retaining wall wasn't presented to us to review, and we didn't therefore have that discussion. So I'd like to review it as a whole and then have that discussion at that time personally. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Stephen. Diane. Diane,
Here I am, sorry.
thank you, Diane.
I forgot I was muted. I think what has been stated by Stephen and Carrie are very true. I think there's one picture back there, Greg, I think it's yours, if you're still on, that shows a line of trees, good-sized trees going down beside a house. And I don't know whose house that is. And that back little sheddy thing behind, I guess, your white fence.
That's Mr. Barada's. That's Mr.
Yeah.
Thomas Barada's home.
Okay, and where is your line? Where is your line that
Correct.
goes right along there? Okay, so
Correct.
that fence to me looks like it's practically on top of the line. And to move that much soil around, the people who are doing it are supposed to state that, because we do have certain rules that say how much you can move. And it isn't a question of whether you won't see it, you will see it. It's an open piece of land on all 4 sides, and you can't just put some sort of vegetation around the 3 sides and say that's it, because we have no idea what they are, whether they are in perpetuity or anything. I think this application needs to be applied again with the things lacking done, so that we don't spend a lot of time going along on something that should be done. So I think there are too many problems to answer bit by bit, and I'd like to see a full new application.
Yeah. And did I miss anybody on the board? Okay. Because I personally think it's a insensitive development to this neighborhood, and it could have been burned down. The HDC could have given it scrutinized the situation and avoided like a pressure treated wall. I think it's very insensitive, and I wouldn't mind a reapplication myself. So
I'll make a motion to state.
So the person that's defending this, Katie, did you still want to say something?
Yes, please. There's a few things that sounds like you guys are a little unclear on. So first of all, the fence, it's my understanding, this was Jesse Dutra's permit and his design. And he permitted the fence, but it's my understanding that the fence that was permitted is only 4 feet tall. And I know the owner would like to go for a 6-foot fence. But right now, only a 4-foot fence is permitted. And the 4-foot fence is permitted for 3 feet inside that retaining wall. So there would be plantings between the top of the retaining wall, completely blocking the fence. And again, I mean, I can appreciate everybody's concern about the wall. I agreed, it's not sightly. And I would have suggested doing it a little further in to allow more room for planting. One thing that may help is bringing the wall down by, I don't know if they can bring it down a course because of the grade change. I mean, this really is to help with the retaining. But yeah, but maybe they could bring down 2 courses, taking another foot down. But again, I mean, there's plenty of options for plantings on the back side of the wall, that I will suggest that Jesse and the landscape installers use. And if need be, I don't have the application for the original fence or any of that. I was just asked to come in on the wall part. But I did speak with Jesse earlier, and maybe we can collaborate and do a plan that shows everything all together. But I'm definitely, I think the owner would definitely be willing to bring the wall down a course or 2. And I just wanted to clarify that the fence that's permitted is only a 4-foot fence.
Right.
I-
right.
The wall was never permitted, so.
The wall wasn't, no, yes, I understand that.
Right.
So I
so,
still make my
um,
motion.
Yeah,
Okay,
comprehensive,
um,
everything.
All right.
I'd
thank you,
like to
Katie.
speak, Madam Chair, before we make a motion.
Okay, Stephen, could you go?
Yeah, please. So I think, the information that was just provided underscores why we need to have a copy of what was previously approved before us in all regards for the property, whether it's the cabana or that small dwelling, a fence, any other hardscaping elements. And to wit, this is, a 4-foot fence on top of this what amounts to be a 2, probably closer to 3-foot wall, is a 7-foot fence. And if we go ahead and were to approve a 6-foot, we're up between 8 and 9 feet as viewed from McLean Lane. So I just wanted to clarify that. I think it's inappropriate, and I agree with the other comments to this point.
Right.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Stephen.
So can I make a
Diane.
motion to have a reapplication that covers all the questions brought up about the wall, where and the what was approved and not, and full drawings of an elevation of the wall and the topography map showing where the dirt is going to be added and from where.
Yes, I think work should stop as well. I mean, this is an egregion. So thank you, Diane, for that. Oh boy. Okay, so
Madam Chair,
on
what was that an ask to expand the motion that no further hardscape work would occur at the rear yard till this is resolved?
I found it, yes, certainly.
Okay,
think-
I just want to understand what I was voting on.
do you want to make that part of your motion, Diane?
Yes, I will do that.
Okay, so that is part of that. Terry, did you get all that?
Can I read back what I got?
Yeah,
Because I don't think I got quite exactly what you said, but anyway, because this is an application for the wall, correct?
Yes,
Alrighty, so, because basically what I had is a motion to hold for reapplication with the previous approvals, topography, and a comprehensive site plan. And no further hardscape work is to be done until this is resolved. Did I
Yes.
miss anything?
no, that's good, I think, don't you?
yeah, I think that's good. And that gives us a chance to look at it again and see how we want to
Yeah,
deal with this. So
okay.
everybody in favor of Diane's motion, Stephen,
Aye.
Sorry, Val, did you speak on this?
No, because it's my client. I did the house and the shed.
Okay, I remember that now.
I would just ask that you guys view it too.
Okay, gosh, do you mind adding that to your motion too, Diane?
No, I will add it and
Yeah.
a view.
Yeah, I think that's a very good idea. Okay, so, on that, let's take that again. Stephen,
Aye.
Carrie,
Aye, with comprehensive meaning all the structures, not just the house.
Thank you.
Right.
yeah, complete application, complete reapplication. And myself am in favor. So that passes. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
Thank
Katie.
you very much. Thank you.
Val, you're up next. Are you gonna hold yours until Tuesday still?
am.
Okay.
Yes.
Motion
I
to
hear a
hold, motion to hold new business, 1, 2, and 3, 101 Low Beach Road until Tuesday.
Thank you.
Okay, all in favor of Diane's motion, Carrie,
Aye.
Stephen,
Aye.
and myself.
Madam Chair, Linda told me that if she wasn't in by time for her application, just to hold off, she would make it before 2:30. I don't see her now, so we would want to hold that one for the time being.
Motion to hold for representation.
Okay, all in favor of Val's motion, Carrie,
Aye.
Stephen,
Aye.
Diane,
Aye.
and Val on your motion.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, that passes.
Madam Chair, I'm so sorry to do this. Joe Paul is also not here today.
Okay,
Motion to hold for representation.
okay, all in favor of Val's motion,
Aye.
Carrie,
Aye.
Stephen,
Aye.
Diane,
Aye.
Val,
Aye.
and myself, that passes.
All right, 1 Caroline Way, I do believe someone is here for that.
I didn't see a link for this.
Neither did I.
So I
Yes.
didn't,
Hi, my name is Ben Januzovic, and I was gonna ask you, partner is not available today, if we can move that for the next available meeting.
Sure, that's
That's
fine.
perfect. Val, that was my bad. My apologies there. So this is better. I'll get it to you guys beforehand.
no worries.
Do I hear a motion to hold,
Make a
Motion to hold. till-
1 Caroline Way.
1 Caroline Way? Okay.
Did I understand that you're missing some documents as well?
We don't
I-
have anything.
I think I have everything, but I'll take care of this at another time, guys.
Okay,
Okay.
so, okay, all right.
So for now, we're just gonna hold it. So who made that motion, Val?
I did.
Yeah, oh, Diane, thank you,
Both
Diane.
of us did, actually.
Okay, Val on the
Well, she
motion,
definitely didn't expect.
Aye.
Carrie,
Aye.
Stephen,
Aye.
and Diane on your motion, and
Aye.
I'm fine with holding that too.
Madam, I'm sure Lisa Botticelli did not expect to go today, but I do know that number 3 and 4 of old business, he is here. So for now, if you want to hold numbers 1 and 2 of old business for representation, that would be great.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think she requested it because she has ZBA and she's.
Oh, that's
on it.
right, Val. You're
Yeah.
correct. That's right.
Right. So do we?
Motion to hold 1 and 2.
Because she may show up later.
No, she's on the ZBA board and they're meeting at the same time. So,
Oh, no,
Tuesday.
yeah, Tuesday.
Okay,
And they have a big agenda.
okay. Then we'll hold that for next Tuesday.
Aye.
Okay, Diane's in favor. Stephen,
Aye.
Carrie,
Aye.
Val,
Aye.
and myself. Okay. Is there anybody in the queue?
Rick is here. Rick,
Thank you, Kadeem. I am here.
Oh, great. Okay. Let's hear from Rick. So 24 Mill Street.
So last time Rick was here, Rick, if you want to go ahead, I do have the supplemental material that you wanted, and that's the new material essentially. So.
Great, thanks, Kadeem, and oh, sorry, heard a little echo. And thank you to the the chairman of the board and the board for listening to me. Last time we spoke, we had talked about a small shed that is not visible from the street, potential for demoing it to replace it. There was some concern from the committee members that the shed held some historical significance. Since we last spoke, I worked with Miss Rita Carr at the Preservation Society, who also did the age of our house. She sent an email estimating the date of the shed's creation to be 1998. Additionally, the committee last time had requested some photos of the interior. I apologize; those photos are not great. It is kind of a, just from my iPhone, a dark shed, but hopefully you can see a lot of the wood is either plywood or newer wood as well. So I think that's kind of it. It is just a shed that truly, I don't even believe has a foundation, as you can see from the pictures. It just sits directly on the ground. And so, requesting permission to demo that shed.
Madam Chair,
Yes, Holly, please.
thank you. So appreciate the owner going to Nantucket Preservation Trust to get some clarification on the age. That's great. I would request a little bit better photos of the interior for the file if the commission is so inclined to approve the demolition. Those are the comments, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Holly. Who'd like to go first?
I'll go.
Thank you, Val.
Given that he got some historic information or certification from what we hold as a good authority, I am fine with this demo.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Val. Carrie.
I wasn't on this originally, but I did listen. And I agree with Val. I think that he's done his homework and provided the information. If Holly wants more interior and more elevations of the exterior, I would honor that. So that's it.
Okay. And Diane.
Well, I'd have to go along with it. It doesn't look in bad shape. However, I would like to suggest that it's ever doing it to save the plantings that go over the top and around it, because it fits into the neighborhood of the yard. And it's not our purview, but it's just a suggestion.
Okay. Thank you, Diane. And Stephen.
No additional comments. It's too bad we can't, we don't have some place to pick this up and plunk it down, but it is what it is.
Yeah. I personally don't. I think it is old, and I think it has a heck of a lot of charm, and I'm afraid what's coming is going to be a generic whatever. So I'm a little bit dubious, so I'm going to abstain. But do I hear a motion to approve this?
Madam Chair, I
Yes,
just wanted to, for the record, to clarify the word abstain or abstention. That means there's no vote from you. It's not a yay or a nay. So I just wanted to make that comment for the record.
okay.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay. I in that case would, well, I won't say what I'm going to say. So do I hear a motion to
I'll make
approve
that
this?
motion to approve the application as submitted.
Thank you, Val. Carrie on the motion.
Aye. With the
Stephen.
caveat of getting all the photo documentation better to Holly.
Okay.
I add that to my motion.
Thank you,
Val.
Val.
And thank you, Carrie. And Stephen
Aye.
and Diane,
Aye.
and I'm a nay, so that passes. Rick?
Yep, thank you very much. And so the second piece of business I'm bringing before you guys is a proposal for a new shed. These exact drawings were approved in the past by the committee, I think about 3 or 4 years ago, for a property that is also not in the historic district. And so it was literally just from that file that I copied these plans and I'm resubmitting them to you for approval.
Okay, thank you. Do we have all the elevations?
Madam Chair,
Oh, Holly, go ahead. Where is this 24 Mill Street? Okay,
24 Mill Street, yes,
This,
which is within the old historic district.
Great.
Yeah.
And both myself and HSAB did take a look at this originally. We both said that we needed better drawings to know the overall height and the accurate window placement. Those comments still stand if those haven't been addressed. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, thanks, Holly.
I'll go.
Okay, thanks, Diane.
I think for the drawing we've seen is it's small, but I have no height on the building. I don't like the dormer, which I believe is, the south elevation is out of proportion. So I don't like that. And the east and west, east is simple enough. And the west is also simple enough, but the south is not. South, those windows are not appropriate. For the dormer goes right up to the roof. And so that's what I have to say about it.
So that's a flush dormer. It goes shingled all the way up.
Yeah,
That dormer, okay. And that's, I guess that's white trim. Rick, is the trim white?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Okay, so Diane has gone. Stephen? Or Stephen may be muted. Carrie, did you go?
I did not go and I will. I
Please.
think just because of the nature of the historic district here, we need better drawings because these are not to scale. We have no idea how tall it is. The drawings don't really look like the windows work on the ends height wise. We don't know where it's actually located. Can I ask the applicant where on the site is it going to be, right where that one is?
Yes, that's correct. And I also wanted a quick question to confirm. My understanding is that 23 Prospect, which is the property next door to me, is in the historic district, but 24 Mill Street is not. Is that incorrect?
That's got to be incorrect.
Because I know the property to the left, I guess to the left of me, is not in the historic district if you look at the map.
Holly?
Madam Chair, I just looked it up on our GIS and he is incorrect. He is one property out of the old historic 1955 boundary. However, on that caveat, you're not located within the old historic district. You're still located in the historic district from 1970, the entire island. So thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. Yeah, just curious. Thank you.
Okay, so, sorry, Val?
Yeah, it's a shed. Aside from the dormer, I think it's a perfectly fine little building. It says on the application 12 feet. I would concur that we could probably approve it and just have the drawings tidied up in order to get that approval at the staff level. So I think if you took the dormer off and identified the windows as true divided light, which you do have checked in the box, it's okay. And the door's Essex green.
Okay, thanks, Val. Stephen, did you?
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry, I was
Okay,
having mic problems.
That's okay.
So through you, Madam Chair, I'd like to, could we bring up the site plan? Okay, great. So the north elevation is facing the house. That would be the door. And then the dormer is going to be away towards the neighbor's yard. Is that correct? I
Yes,
see
that's
that
correct.
there's some green lettering on the plan, on the elevations that was added later, which I presume are cardinal point orientations. I just want to confirm what I'm looking at.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, thanks. So I agree with Commissioner Oliver. I think, and Commissioner Thornwell, I think that the idea is to get a better site plan that shows specifically where this is going to be. Thanks, Diane. I think the idea would be that if this were to be no closer to than on the site plan, the southwestern corner that's dimensioned, that we would be able to accept this through staff with the site plan revised. I do think that it would be helpful to include a height on the elevations just for convenience, at least on the north from existing grade to the ridge. I'm not concerned about the dormer. I don't think it's going to be visible. I think if it is going to be visible, it's a charming little detail. You're not going to really understand the context. And the fact that there's some space underneath, it gives you some place to store stuff, which is what happens behind a shed. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you, Stephen. I personally would have liked to see a complete application such as all the dimensions. I'd like to see a photograph of the main house to see how this relates to it. It is close to his historic district, so I think it should be treated as such. You know, I don't, and I was opposed to the last application of losing the older shed. So those are my comments, but I'm welcome to a motion on this.
I would motion to approve through staff with the drawings being tightened up with dimensions, a floor plan, and you know, a better site plan, even if it's just sketched over what's there, so we know exactly where it's going to sit.
Okay, and all in favor of Val's motion, Carrie,
Aye.
Stephen?
I would have liked to spoke more though.
Oh, I'm
before the
sorry.
motion,
sorry.
but
Okay, so, well,
I just, Madam Chair, with all due respect, I think, you know, the idea that some comments have been made is if, you know, by approving the shed, we're not, some members are not sensitive to the location in the historic district. And I just think that that's, you know, not accurate. That a larger shed than this was approved, you know, within a block, literally, you know, 20 feet from the street. So I just wanted to make that comment. I think that it is at the rear of the property, and I think it's in an appropriate location and an appropriate size. And other than that, I'm not going to micromanage the design of something that is not going to be visible. Thank you, Madam Chair.
so are you in favor of Val's motion or not? I couldn't quite understand.
I would pronounce that as a yes.
Okay, all right, Diane? Diane?
My answer is no.
Oh, okay, thank you. And I'm a nay, but that passes. So, thank you, Rick.
Madam Chair,
Yeah,
I am now doing some work to get other people here. So Dean is not going to make it, unfortunately, but I do see that Ben Norman is in the queue. So if you guys want to hold 5, 6, and 7 for representation, that would be fantastic.
5, 6, and 7. Do I hear that motion?
So move.
Okay, thank you, Diane. On Diane's motion, Val,
Aye.
Carrie,
Aye.
Stephen,
Aye.
and I am in favor. And Diane, you're in favor of your motion?
Right. Yes.
Great. Okay.
Ben, just let me know where you want me to go, please.
Sure, thanks, Kadeem. I don't think I need to go through this whole presentation again. As you all remember, this is the house that exploded through a gas explosion about a year ago. Our last review of it, I think we were pretty close in the design. That's the existing house that is no longer with us. And So Kadeem, I think you could just run right to the proposed elevations, if you don't mind. Yeah, we'll start there. Perfect. So the revisions that I've made on the east elevation, the street facade is on the garage portion. I removed the little shutter that nobody seemed to grab onto. I reduced the width of the roof walk and also made it 3 bays of railings rather than the 4. And on this elevation, I mirror imaged the location of the chimney, as historic structures was, and rightfully so, did not like it on that other end. The question that still remains here is that we are requesting simulated divided light windows through LePage, who are really high-end window manufacturer. It's really hard to tell that they're insulated glass, but we are still requesting that the whole building get those. There was some discussion of not having those on the front elevations, and you know, of course, it's the pleasure of the board to how they want to treat that, but we are still requesting insulated glass. If you go to the next one, that'd be great. The only change here is just that the chimney's no longer on that side, and the reason why was because of those gable end windows. And Mickey Rowland at HSAB made the obvious remark that chimney mast would have obliterated those windows. So, you know, shame on me. Should have known better. Last elevation or meeting last time, we all felt pretty confident that the rear of this building was not really going to be seen from across multiple properties and multiple elevations onto, what's that road? Is it New Lane?
Yeah.
Yeah. I did separate those windows from the French doors on the second floor, just so that they had been all kind of gained together, but I pulled those apart. And of course, the roof walk and the chimney equally have changed. And on the last elevation, I believe it's just the chimney. That was the only change on this elevation. So hope that I've kind of gotten to where we need to be, and I'm happy to hear what you have to say.
Thank you, Ben. Anybody ready to start?
Madam
I
Chair,
will. Oh, Holly.
I just,
Holly.
I'm sorry. No, I just wanted to mention that this did not go back to HSAB again, but from staff's perspective, I concur with the revisions. I would say for the Windows perspective, understanding that the original structure was built in the 1990s, the entire subdivision of Woodbury obviously is a example of mimicking pretty much Nantucket's, Quaker and whaling era structures. I would recommend the commission to keep with your original or policy, if you will, of having the facade be TDLs and the rest be SDLs within the old historic district. Other than that, those are the comments, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Holly. Yeah, that's an interesting thing to think about. The SDLs on a house like this. So Val, I think you were about to go.
I was going to say pretty much what Holly said. I think the changes are appropriate, and with the exception of keeping within, has been our policy recently, and being mindful of the energy code, that we make the front facade have the single divided light and the rest can be the SDL.
Okay, I just wanted to know on those SDLs, do they get a storm window or do those just get?
They do not need storm windows. The simulated divided light will not need a storm window. If we do true divided light on the front elevation, we will have a storm attached to it.
And then so there's no screen on the sides either? There's no screens? What are they doing?
I mean, there might be a screen insert.
Like the old fashioned kind?
Yeah, like a bottom sash kind of screen.
Yeah.
For the
Okay.
season type thing.
I just, I'm preparing myself. Okay.
I'll go.
Okay, Diane, please go.
I will go. I approve, and I like the new submission, and I like the business of having the TDLs in the front and the SDLs around the rest of the thing. And otherwise, I have no problem with what he's done.
Great. Stephen,
Thanks, Madam Chair. I appreciate the changes. I agree with much as what's been said. I would just state that I think it's unfortunate. The aluminum triple track windows that are used with the TDLs are really an affront to the historic character of downtown and the old historic district. I think that the newer windows are a higher energy efficiency. They help us in many ways, not part of our purview, but electric cords, not having to run to the mainland, expanding those and so on and so forth. The SDLs behind a manufacturer's OEM storm look more attractive and authentic as compared to a TDL with a wood storm, as was the historic norm. So I'm not suggesting that anyone's going to change their vote and let these be SDL at the front with a manufacturer storm, but I do think it's more appropriate. Thank you, Madam Chair.
I wouldn't get so forlorn about that. It may turn. Carrie,
I think the house is really appropriate for this neighborhood, and I think Ben's done a great job incorporating that little back garage, because that's just how they all look back there. And the windows, I think you can talk to Brooke Merbergen about storms that are flush inset that are great looking and would work with a TDL on the front elevation.
okay. I think we heard from everybody. I thought this would be a good opportunity to try a high-end SDL so that we wouldn't have to see all of that goes along with the TDL, the triple tracks and the darn storm windows combo. But I thought it might be a good opportunity to try it out in a development like this that really isn't that old, but is trying to be old. Regardless, do I hear a motion to approve this?
Motion to approve.
With the TDLs on the front?
TDLs on the front and the SDLs around the restway. There are lots of store windows that are put on the inside that you don't have all the stuff on the TDLs. If we're not going to do that, then we best change our rules about.
I concur with you, Diane. We need to have a discussion.
Yeah.
So do I.
Right. But right now, Diane's motion is to have TDLs on the front of the house, all windows on the front.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to pick out this window and that window.
No, I mean,
in the front.
Right. I'm just saying that there's a secondary mass and then there's the garage. So are you saying those also?
I don't believe you'll see the garage. So that one window and the thing doesn't have to be on the facade of the main building. We have the TDLs.
Okay.
Is there a motion, point of order?
I had a motion.
It's being formed.
I know, but there seems to be a lot of discussion. I'm just trying to understand what the motion is through the chair, please.
Well, that's what I was trying to do. Thank you very much. I wanted to know which windows on the front wanted TDL. So
Thank you.
on Diane's motion, Val,
Aye.
Carrie,
Aye.
Stephen,
I'm a no protest vote.
and Diane on yours.
Aye.
And I am a nay. I was wanted to try that. So, okay, but that passes. So thank you, Ben.
Thank you, everybody.
Madam
Nice
Chair, we're
design,
now
Ben.
onto a Val, our Val application again.
Yeah, and I'm gonna hold because I don't have Ray and John.
Okay, and that,
For-
Madam Chair, we also do not have anyone from workshop here, so you might want to hold that one with it. I don't see Mirka. You might want to hold that one with it. And then Carrie, you're the next one. How you feeling?
I'm the next one.
After me, we have 3 right now where no one's here or can do it. So would
Oh,
you-
yes, Luke is here. He can do it.
All right, so Madam Chair, through you, if you could, have someone hold 9, 10, and 11.
So
I
move.
hear that motion.
So move.
Thank you, Diane. On Diane's motion, Val,
Yes on everything but mine.
Carrie,
Perfect.
Aye.
Stephen,
All right.
Diane,
Aye.
and myself. That passes. Thank you.
Luke, ready for you whenever. Just tell me where to go.
Okay. Well, I was asked to provide from the standpoint of visibility, I was asked to provide a context of the neighborhood. I don't know. I was asked, so if you go back to the color drawing, I did this a long time ago for the developer, actually. And it's probably not too far off of what's potential impact is on the general area, even though I expect you guys will make everything a little bit smaller. But my point of providing this was from, let's say, North Mill Street and Angola, the lack of visibility of our proposed project. And you can see there's a good 20 foot plus drop. It's too small for me to see. Elevation 38 at Angola Street, and we are up at elevation 60 approximately. So that's the grade differential. And from the perspective of seeing the building, what this goes to show is that really from a public way, you're really only going to see what you're looking at as you come down Birdsong Road, straight on from the standpoint of full impact. So that's that. We did a number of change. We did what we thought was all the changes that we were asked to do in terms of raising on the west elevation to reduce the sidewall. We enlarged the windows. We raised the windows up to a higher position on the first floor, and we lengthened them on the second floor. And I walked the Quaker neighborhood over by Academy Hill and looked at the typical, which are the best examples for the Quaker architecture. And this house is, a lot of the proportions and elements of this house are you can find in and around that neighborhood. The screen porch included all sorts of different entry, main door entryway details. I just did a really simple one. But we separated the gang windows on the right-hand side of the building. Made them in the dormer just one window, and separated the gang windows below. So that's the west elevation changes. We also shrunk back the screen porch by about 4 feet on that elevation too, by the way. This elevation, we didn't change. On this elevation, we didn't change a great deal. We did center. I should note that what I noticed on the Quaker homes was that all the chimneys were almost always centered. They weren't on the end walls. So we brought our faux chimney more to a central position. We were proposing a small skylight. Other than that, nothing really changed, I don't think, on that elevation. There weren't any concerns, I didn't think.
Thank you. Is
Luke,
that
I don't know if I have any other elevations. I only have west and
They're lower down below the site plan,
They're separated, yeah.
or at least.
Okay,
So if you
here we are.
scroll
Okay,
down,
so what we did here was, this is the rear, which really no one sees, period. But we reduced that screen porch. We pulled it in towards the house pretty significantly. I think it was like 4 feet. And we changed it from a hip roof to a more traditional gable. Again, the doors and windows got enlarged on that elevation. And then this is the elevation that basically faces a large swath of vegetation all the way down to Angola, and it's, 30 feet above Angola. So its visibility is, I almost want to say zero.
Thank you. Luke, what is the most visible elevation from a public way?
Well, based on the subdivision plan I gave you, I think that shows really clearly that it's from birdsong, straight on. So that's the
West.
front elevation is really the only that elevation there is really the high impact
Okay.
elevation.
Oh, that's nice. Okay, good. So, anything else, Luke, you want to add?
Well, I will say that the neighborhood sent us a letter saying that they appreciated everything we did and they were happy with it, in case that you didn't get that.
I didn't get that, but maybe others did. Is there anybody from the public on this?
Yes, Abby?
Yes,
It's Ann Suez.
yes. Hi, Ann.
Hi. Luke is absolutely right. We sent, or I sent on behalf of our neighborhood group, a letter to him and Carrie and the owner to say thank you for working so diligently with both the HDC and the neighbors. They've made virtually all of the changes that we suggested, and obviously some that you did as well that were more technical in nature. And we think that this house fits very nicely into the neighborhood, and we really do appreciate it. And I wanted to come and say this publicly because I know that you think we do nothing but object. But in fact, we're trying to work with you and with the owners to end up with a subdivision that we can all be proud of. So thank you very much, Luke and Carrie. We think you've done a great job.
Thanks, Ann.
You're welcome.
It's nice to get a positive feedback.
Madam Chair,
Yes, Holly.
I just wanted to mention from staff's perspective, this did not go back to HSAB, but taking a look at the revisions and comparing it with comments that you all had made and HSAB had made as well as staffs. I appreciate a lot of these changes, especially the center chimney and mimicking the Quaker homes. Thank you, Luke. That's great. I did also want to mention, I appreciate the porch roof changes. And then also the reduction in the windows on that west elevation shed dormer from 2 gang to 1. That's a little better, as well as that mass is pushed back. I did have a question on the windows, whether or not they were TDL versus SDL. I didn't look at that again. And then also the color, I believe the application had mentioned it was black sash. So I just didn't much want to make sure that the commission makes a decision on the color appropriateness. But other than that, this is great info, and I'm glad to hear that the neighborhood is happy. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Holly. Would anybody like to go first?
I'll go.
Okay, thank you, Diane.
I appreciate the changes that have been made. I think it's a neat 3-bay. I really do. And I can't see any things that just knock me over the head and say, wrong, wrong. I follow it along. Excuse me, my throat is good. So if I could just see the rear elevation. Almost.
It has gone white, so let me close out and get it right back up. East elevation, here you are, Diane.
Right. I think that it works well. I think the dormer with mulled windows carries the the strength of those 2 windows. So I basically am great with it. I can't pick anything apart that's worth picking. I think it's a good application.
Thank you, Diane. Stephen,
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yes, I appreciate the changes and opposed to belaboring that point. I would make a motion to approve as submitted.
okay, let's hear
I
from
just
the,
have a question.
After you all speak.
yeah, I have something to say. I think we all have something to say. So hold that motion, please. Val, did you want to go?
Yeah, I just have a question for Luke. The north, is that retaining? Is that tiered retaining? How is that gonna work? Because that, as you show on your north, there's quite a bit of grade change.
It's all rolling grade.
Okay,
So-
I just wasn't sure looking at it because it looks like it could be those retaining walls that we just were discussing on another.
Point.
Okay. Okay.
Good point. Did Carrie, no, I guess you can't be on this. So I myself, looking at the front elevation, I think we decided that was that west? With the front door? I mean,
Yeah.
just some super minor stuff. Like I think the front door, although simplified, I think the trim around it would be a little more Quaker. A little bit more, if it was larger, I think it just looks really sort of minimal. I think the C window on the right-hand side in the shed dormer looks a little horizontal to me. Those panes almost look square. I'd like to see those be a little more narrower. And I'm concerned about the black sash. Is there an alternative to that?
Oh, I agree with you, Abby. I forgot to mention it. I think you're absolutely right.
So those are my comments. And other than that, I think it's a quite a good job. It
Can I
could
say
be,
something?
yes, Luke.
The reason we went to gray and black, was try to be accommodating in a low impact color. The preferred color of my client is white and white.
What about gray and white?
Yeah, if you don't like black, he would be fine with gray and white.
Okay,
I just think black is overused. And
Yeah.
in the old historic district,
Okay.
Yeah, personally, I'd like to see all gray, but that's my own opinion. So,
Motion to approve through staff, subject to the C window on the west elevation being made slightly more horizontal with respect to the pane proportions, the color, the black to be a gray. And the note that there's no retainage proposed, which is consistent with the drawings I reviewed earlier.
did you mean to say that window in the shed would be, I said that I thought they looked square. I wanted the window to be slightly narrower.
Yeah, to change the proportion so it's more rectangular. The panes of
Thank
glass.
you. Okay,
Yes.
okay, thanks. Well, all in favor of Stephen's motion, Val,
aye.
Carrie, I'm sorry, Stephen,
Aye.
Diane,
Aye.
and myself, I'm an aye.
Madam
Well-
Chair,
Yes?
Dean Lampy is now here for 15 Aurora Way. And I do think that you guys would like these applications, so they might be a good bunch to end on today.
All righty then. Thank you, Luke.
Can I ask just what color was the sash approved at?
Gray,
So it's
a
gray.
gray.
Gray and white, right? Gray.
Was it gray and
No,
white?
the
or-
black, excuse me, the motion was to change the black to a gray.
Oh, did everyone know that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, that was the motion.
Okay.
I'm happy to make it white. But the motion was a gray based on what I was hearing.
Well, should we restate that? Or
Um,
discuss that a little bit further?
Terry
You-
might
you
chime
would
in on
have-
how we would take it up again, but I'm
Yeah,
happy
you,
to
you've made the
revise that.
motion, you voted on the motion. The slash is to go to gray. If you want to change that, you have to reopen that application.
Okay, well, we could do that. I think it's better to get this right than to just,
So you, is this about the sash being gray as opposed to
Yes.
white?
yes, I think, I personally would rather see it all white or all gray. I think the combo is.
So, motion to reopen Lot A, Birdsong Lane.
All in favor of Stephen's motion, Val,
Aye.
Carrie, sorry, Stephen, Diane,
Aye.
I, and myself. Okay,
Motion to revise the last approval to substitute white for the word gray.
okay, thank you. So it would be white sash, white trim.
That's fine with my client.
Is that right? Sorry, I just want to make sure I got it right, Stephen.
Yeah, so that, I mean, the end result will be, we first substituted gray for black, and now we're going to substitute white for gray,
And the trim is white as well.
which, yeah, has always been the case.
What about the front door? Did we do that?
What color do you guys want for the front door? I had it as black.
No.
Yeah, I know.
What about? what
And the front
about-
door to be a historic color.
Okay,
Yeah, thank you. Okay, and that also goes along with that shed dormer on the front being narrower.
Yeah, not changing any other language. We're just to clarify, the
trim
word
and-
white will substitute for the word gray, and we will add that the front door color is to be a historic color. Is that okay, Madam Chair?
Yes, yes, and thank you for clarifying that. I'm glad we went back. So all in favor of Stephen's motion, Val,
Aye.
Diane,
Aye.
and Stephen on your motion,
All right.
and I am a yes.
All right, Madam Chair, Dean is here. I do have the new dwelling pulled up. Dean, if you want to begin with the changes, here is your site plan.
Sure.
New site plan.
So I guess the big issue last time was the garage I had that was basically blocking the main house. And also the location of the front door was on the west elevation. So I moved the front door to the north elevation facing the street. I eliminated the garage and pretty much substituted that with a pool cabana / shed in the very back, and moved the hot tub to a plunge pool that's even further away from the street that I don't think will be visible at all. And then I added some landscaping features, a split rail fence, a row of privet, and an arbor to access the yard. And I did make a couple changes to the elevations. So on this one here, yeah, so the front door's in the front now. That's the front of the house. And then go to the other one.
That was confusing to me.
Yeah, it's a very.
You have like an overhang on the side, but I don't see it on the front.
Oh, go to the north elevation. It's that one.
Okay.
So it's right there.
Up to eat. Sorry. Is that where you wanted me to be?
Yeah. So
Okay.
that's the side of it, and that's the front. And then there were a few changes to the west elevation. I think someone mentioned that there was too much glass, so I eliminated double door on that left gable end on the very far left, and just added 2 A windows and a C above it.
do you have the previous submission? I think that was the other thing. I couldn't go
I
back
was
and
gonna
forth.
just mention that I did not ask Dean to do that on this, and I should have caught that. I can open that one up now if you guys would like, or we can ask for that at another time.
Well, I just can't see what was really changing.
Let's see. All right, give me 1 second, guys, as I just pop these into here so that we can kind of compare and contrast. Is that
Look
right?
at you.
Give me 1 second, though. I want to make sure I do it right. So these are the old stuff. I'm moving the old stuff into the new stuff, and then we can look at them that way if they all load right. Okay. So this was the old west elevation here. And this is the new west elevation here. Let me know where you want to go and I'll just do it that way.
So go to page 5. So this is where the front door was in the original plan. It was on, maybe I got the east, on the east elevation. There was a hot tub there. I got rid of that middle A gable in the middle, and having it facing the other way just to kind of clean that up, I guess. And now the front door is on the front north elevation that's facing the street because you guys didn't want the front door to be on that long side of the house, which seemed more appropriate if it's facing the road. And then Kadeem, do you have the site plan, the old site plan? And then this is the original plan. I had a garage that was pretty much blocking that whole north elevation of the main house. So that's now been eliminated. There's nothing in between the main house and the street. And there's a pool and a cabana at the very back end of the property.
And you still got the hot tub?
No, that hot tub's been eliminated.
Good.
So it's basically, there's a little yard and then a pathway that goes even further back to a plunge pool and a cabana.
Yeah, I think that's good. Do you have to have a cover for that plunge pool or not?
Yeah, I'm gonna put a cover on it.
An automatic?
Yes.
Okay.
So back to the front of the house here. When you guys are ready, just tell me where to go. Anyone that needs me to move around. It's a little tricky, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Dean.
Ray, can you hear me?
Oh,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, John, we can hear you. We can
Ray?
hear you. We're in the middle of an
Ray
application.
isn't here.
I can hear John, but we've already
Ray?
opened this application. John, Ray's not here. I'm chairing and we're in the middle of an application. Hold on 1 second.
I'm sorry, Madam Chair, I did just have to remove John for the time being. I will contact him. You guys continue, please.
Okay, all right, thank you. So who would like to weigh in? Val, you started. Did you want to say anything
No,
else?
my concerns were just, I didn't have the other thing to compare it to. So I appreciate that. Thank you. I think it's a vast improvement.
Oh, good. Okay, great. Diane,
The only thing I would suggest with Johnny, excuse me, I'm choking to death, is the front door instead of one panel at the bottom, is to bring it up to 2 panels with 4 windows on
Okay.
top.
oh, sorry, what did you say?
It's now 2, 4, 6 big and 1 panel.
So you want 4 lights up top and just 2 wood panels below.
Yeah, that's,
Yep. And same thing for the side lights?
yeah, please.
Okay.
Okay, Stephen,
Yeah, What's the visibility, Dean, on that north elevation?
That's very exposed to the aurora.
Okay. Yeah, I actually, not to be contrarian, but I think the 6 light is, or can we go back to the elevation? Yeah, I think that 6 light is more proportionate and in keeping with the 9 light is in keeping with the 6 light windows. Down a little bit more, There you go. So I would actually like to see that stay the same if it's visible.
All right, let's go around the board some more. Carrie, are you with us?
She on it? Yeah.
One more try for Carrie. Carrie Thornwell. Are
She's
you out?
muted. I'm asking her to unmute now, but there we go. Oh,
I'll
there's
go
Luke. Luke.
I'll go grab her. Hang on.
Well, if she wasn't, okay. So at the moment, it's just Val, Stephen, Diane, and myself.
Correct.
But Carrie can't be on this anyway because she was out of the room. I don't think.
That's correct.
So, my feeling, well, I'm in agreement with Stephen. This is sort of a modern approach, and I'm okay with this more modern front door. You're treating it as a whole with the side lights, and so those are my simple thoughts. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve is submitted.
Oh, I like that. That's easy. Stephen,
I'm nothing if not easy. I'm an I.
Diane,
Aye.
and I'm an I as well. So that passes. Thank you. Thank you, Dean.
Thanks. Thank you very much.
Thanks for working with us so nicely too.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Right
make it
back
easy
at
for
everything
everyone.
we said.
I'm back. I'm sorry I missed that one.
Oh, not to worry. We missed you.
Dina, I have it up now. So this
Oh, that's fine.
is the site plan. It was the garage, or kind of. Now it's the cabana application, shed
Yeah.
studio.
So it's a pretty small shed cabana at the very back end of the property. You won't be able to see it from the road. We got a row of privet, and then I got a bunch of other landscaping features that are going to be between it. It's already, I think it's like 150 or 170 feet back from the road.
Okay. Nice. So board members,
I'm okay with this. It's appropriate.
thank you, Val. Stephen? Or Carrie?
Yeah, I believe it won't be visible. So I'm okay with this as well.
Thank you. Diane?
It won't be visible. You can't see that far back.
Okay. And Stephen?
Yeah, I'm good with it.
Okay, great. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve is submitted.
Thank you, Val. So,
Aye.
yes, thank you. Diane?
Aye.
Losing it here.
That's all right.
Carrie?
Aye.
And Val, on your motion?
Aye.
And I'm an aye.
Dean, you can go ahead with the pool. It's up and ready.
Yep. So pool, kind of same situation. It's I moved the hot tub that was kind of right where that middle bluestone patio was, and moved it further back. So it's kind of in the same area as the cabana and further away from the road and less visible.
Motion to approve due to lack of visibility, not to be visible at time of inspection or thereafter.
Okay, on Stephen's motion, Val,
Aye.
Carrie,
Aye.
Diane,
Aye.
and myself, that's a go. Thank you, Dean.
Thanks a lot. Have a good day.
Thank you.
That takes care of us to 2:30, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely. Madam Chair, no minutes that need to be approved or anything right now. I will be getting all the submissions for next week's meeting to you as soon as I can. And that's all I've got for you.
And
Have a
good
great
job.
weekend,
Who
everybody.
Who went last night to the,
Oh, I did. Holly and myself did. And Ray also was there. I spoke, Ray spoke, and then, yeah, they decided to uphold their decision.
that was the 38 Prospect.
Kadeem did a fantastic job.
Did he?
Yes, he
Oh,
did.
I'm sorry. I missed it.
Kadeem, kudos to Kadeem.
Thanks, guys.
Yay.
Well, let's
Sorry.
get out of here.
All right, let's make a
Need a
motion to
motion.
adjourn.
I make the motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Diane. On Diane's motion, Stephen,
Long gone.
Carrie,
Hi.
Val,
Aye.
and myself. That's a go.
Thanks, guys. Bye,
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you.